Today's hot topic: powerful men need receptive women. Whew, it's a doozy. So, I'm going to begin by sharing something that has been on my heart for probably about a year now. And that is a response to the idea of a man having big dick energy. I imagine that you've heard this before. Maybe you've used the phrase, but big dick energy as in a reference to a man who has a lot of power, who has a lot of charisma, who has presence, who has is making his way in the world, right? Exerting his will on the world. And I've heard people respond with regard to women with the phrase big pussy energy, which is all well and good. Okay. Totally, there's a time and a place for that. But something that's been on my heart for quite a while now is that the most appropriate compliment to a man's big dick energy is deep womb energy. I'll let you sit with that for a moment. So there's a lot that I have to say about this, and I hope that you can bring a playful spirit to this conversation, because I certainly do. A man who is creating on big levels in the world is so energetically supported by a woman who is able to receive him. A woman who is able to receive him. His power, his intellect, his will, his presence, right? And so instead of trying to match that in a man, for a woman to practice being a receptive match for that kind of energy. This doesn't mean we don't get to be powerful. Women's power, I feel, takes on a different texture than a man's power, just by virtue of us being different. But we're talking about compliments here. And most certainly, the most powerful men, the truly most powerful men, have a level of receptivity, right? Else he becomes a tyrant. And the most receptive women have a level of power. Else she becomes a doormat, right? A woman must be able to have a spine and have her spine online, as I like to say, and have a heart and have her heart open to the world, open to her man, open to life, open to God, right? And having those, the womb, this profound portal of creation. A woman like that amplifies what a man gives her. She expands what she receives from a man. She circulates his energy, his power. She lets it nourish her and excite her and inspire her. And what happens for a man in the presence of a receptive woman, which, by the way, a man must also be able to receive. A woman who is actually truly receptive, like matches his bigness in her receptivity. So a man experiences the joy of being received, of being felt, of being experienced, right? Of being someone who impacts another being, especially a woman that he loves, especially a woman that he loves and cherishes and cares for. Oh, part of the reason I'm sharing all of this is because I remember being quite young when I thought to myself I wanted to be in a power couple, right? And I think that we have templates of what power in a man and power in a woman looks like, right? The way that they stand and express in the world, and like we just feel this power from them. But there's a particular energetic exchange between a powerful man and a receptive woman. You see it in the way she experiences him, in the way she adores him, right? And the way that he adores her too. But like, for a woman to be in her adoration and her admiration of a man, to respect the man that she's with. By the way, ladies, if you do not respect the man that you're with, this might be controversial for some of you, but in the frame through which I see the world, and I've worked with a lot of incredible mentors in feminine beingness over the past 5 years. If you don't respect the man that you're with, you have no business being with that man. Okay? And so I'm saying this, and it might be hard for some people to hear, but consider for a moment what it would feel like to be with a man that you actually respect, that you actually admire, that you actually appreciate. And for some of you, you might already be with a man for whom that may be true, but you just may have spent enough time being in complaint, being joyless, being, being in demand, right? That it's gonna be a stretch for you to practice actually receiving the man that you're with, actually bringing respect, actually generating admiration and appreciation. This is not about contorting. This is not about like faking or pretending. This is actually about experiencing your own receptivity to the man that you're with and seeing for yourself, is this a man? Is this a man that I can actually really respect and appreciate because of the way that it feels in my body when I do that? And so that being an actual test of whether to stay with a man or not. And I'll bring this back down to the womb. I invite women all the time, women that I work with, friends of mine, women that I encounter through all the ways I encounter women in the world, to have a relationship with your womb. Whether you have a physical uterus or not, having a relationship with the energy of womb, which is inherently creational. We have so much ability to create and birth in the world through who we be. Yes, we have the power to do, to create through our doing. Absolutely. And the power, the potency, the magnificence of a woman creating, recognizing herself as creator through her being. Through her being. I want this for us. I want this for women. I want this for men. I want this for unions, for couples, for marriages. Because as women, we can go out and be powerful and exert our will upon the world. Absolutely. But when it comes to stoking the flames of eroticism and creating intimacy with a man, that is where we must be willing and able and in our joy to receive him. And men are so fed by this. Again, not this contortion and this pretending and this faking admiration, but a real grounded, healthy, successful man in the world is so fed by a woman who is able to receive him and delights in receiving him. There are a lot of people who have this doomsday attitude about relationships, about marriage, about the state of dating and courtship. And this, I promise you, is one of the golden keys to unlock the future for relationships between men and women. There is a practicality to partnership. Do we have the same values? Are we heading in the same direction in life? Are there things that we both want, right? To be of influence in some significant way, to have impact on the world, to have children, to create a family, to create legacy, right? Whatever that is, it's important. Whatever your shared values are, so important. Do we value health and longevity, vitality? Do we value compassion and generosity and giving back to the world, right? Do we value having a relationship with God? You know, whether that is of the same nature or different, like having those conversations, right? So important, so necessary. What I'm speaking to here is the element of like deliciousness and enchantment that we get to bring to a relationship by having this dance of complements between, again, a powerful man and a receptive woman. So, as I shared in the beginning, this idea of a woman with deep womb energy being a match for a man with big dick energy. Again, so playful, but really think about it. A man who has big desire and capacity to create, matching with a woman who has big desire and capacity to create. But they are not trying to be the same with each other. They are out to be complements. That is magic. I'm just so here for us to have delicious lives. I really am. I really am. So, if you got something out of this, I would love to hear what that was. If there was something that stood out to you, if you feel inspired to share this with somebody, I would totally invite and welcome that. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I feel grateful that you're here, and sending you all my love and my prayer that if what you desire is deep, intimate, erotic, beautiful, life-giving relationship with a man, or the same with a woman, I pray for that for you. I pray that you become the kind of person who can show up for that kind of dynamic and that kind of relationship and receive and appreciate that kind of relationship and that kind of dynamic. Blessings.